What's up? Welcome to another episode, Aspie with Attitude. My name is David, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I have a speech impairment, and I'm autistic and have Asperger's syndrome, and that's why I'll call myself an Aspie. And guess who's back? Aspie with Attitude, down for more video uploads for this channel. Speaking of this Aspie with Attitude channel, have you ever subscribed to my YouTube channel, Aspie with Attitude? And also, if you love keeping up to date with my videos, have you ever used the notification bell to keep up to date with Aspie with Attitude? And also, to expand a bit more on my channel, and if you really love to support my channel, please don't forget to like and share this video content with your friends, with your family, and with your autistic community. Because before I begin this video content, well, since you're watching this video called Autistics in Fiction number 3, I had already previously uploaded another 2 Autistics in Fiction. So I'd like to give you a rundown of the last 2, just in case this is the first time you're watching this video. So like it was for the very first time that I've listened to my free fictional autistic character back in episode 115. In this video content, I only ever covered Sam Gardner from a Netflix series called Atypical, Raymond Babbitt from a 1988 film called Raymond, and Julia from Sesame Street. And also, there has been a second video just like this, which has been told as Autistics in Fiction number 2. This happens to be my 139th episode. So like for Autistics in Fiction number 2, I only ever covered Sheldon Cooper from a TV series called Big Bang Theory, and Arnie Grape, who was played by Leonardo DiCaprio in a 1993 film called What's Eating Gilbert, Grape. And also, I managed to actually add Spock from the Star Trek franchise. So what I'm going to actually do is, at the very end of this video content, if you want to see these special effects again, I'll be leaving the 2 thumbnails, and also I'll be making a playlist out of this video. So now let's get into the video contents. So here are the Autistics in Fiction number 3 for this video content. Now, just before I get into my first Autistics in Fiction for this video channel, so like, I'll be talking about Shaun Murphy from The Good Doctor. One thing you need to know before I explain Shaun Murphy is this: due to the fact that I am oversensitive to all viewing of medical procedures, I am unable to watch The Good Doctor, because watching medical procedures is too unsuitable for my taste, and I have hypersensitivity to seeing any acts or any forms of medical procedures, even if it's all acting. So, all thanks to fandom.com, I am able to gather whatever necessary information that is needed to explain Shaun Murphy's autism in the TV series called The Good Doctor. So, all I had read from fandom is that Shaun does not have Asperger's syndrome, so instead he has Savant syndromes. And this is why I never called this video content or this video series as Aspie's in Fiction. So just to carry on my talks about Shaun Murphy from The Good Doctor, despite that Shaun has 7 syndromes, it appears that he is very intelligent, but however it is, he still faces a handful of challenges. Shaun has his challenges with cognitive empathy, except he is fine understanding emotions. Other autism traits that Shaun has would be a lack of eye contact, abnormal inflection when speaking, heavily relies in his routines, and he likes to eat the same food and have the same meals every day, and also easily becomes fixated on certain objects, such as that toy scalpel that he got when he was 14 years old, after when he was traumatized that his father killed his pet rabbit when he was only 14 years old, because it's unfortunate that Shaun had parents who discriminated him for being autistic and savage as he grew up. So like the type of doctor that Shaun is supposed to be is a surgeon, and this is why I kept it brief, because like what I said in the beginning, I just can't watch medical procedures, and it just happens that Shaun Murphy from The Good Doctor needs at least one mention in Autistics in Fiction. So like I've only ever seen one episode of The Good Doctor, so like I just couldn't follow it due to medical procedures. So like it's just about time to carry on to my next Autistics in Fiction then. Hey, I've just decided to come back. I just want to actually talk about my second Autistic in Fiction, which this person name is Malcolm. This character comes from a classic Australian film from 1986, which happens to be told as Malcolm. So like, if you've never heard this film, maybe it would just ring the bell for you if you're actually familiar with an Australian film when a yellow car splits in half. So like this movie was filmed in Melbourne, Australia back in 1986, where there's actually lots of trams, which is actually very, very important for Malcolm. As I'll explain, that this movie tells a story about a character named Malcolm. He's an introverted autistic, and this lead role is played by a Scottish actor called Colin Foyles. So Malcolm is a socially awkward individual and also a very shy individual who has an obsession with trams, and also he displays a huge talent in mechanics. So like I'll just tell you the plot of this film, that Malcolm gets fired from his dream job working as a mechanic at a tram depot. So like in the start of the film, when he's in his boss's office being notified why he has been sacked, it already shows that Malcolm is lacking eye contact, and even the boss tells Malcolm that he needs to draw eye contact when the boss is giving him a notification that he is fired from his job. And since now that Malcolm becomes unemployed, and now he's got to look for income since his dream job as a tram mechanic's gone now. So like, he finds himself a housemate to help him out with the bills. So like, he invites a neurotypical, and this person's name is Frank. And what Malcolm actually learns about Frank is that he's only just been released from jail, and like he's invited a criminal to live with him in the house that he may have grew up with. So like, due to Malcolm's Aspie superpowers he has with mechanics, so he decides to use his autism to assist Frank to stage a bank robbery like no other. So Malcolm's purpose is to use remote control cars. So like, Malcolm is portrayed as a socially awkward individual who somehow managed to bond a strong friendship with his criminal housemate Frank. And also Frank does invite his girlfriend Judy to live with Malcolm. So like, in the process, Malcolm is, in the course of the film, transforms his obsessions from trams into a quirky bank robber. So like, I just didn't want to ruin this film whatsoever, since that I don't think many people would just know this film Malcolm. So like, in the course of this film, Malcolm exhibits a peculiar way of walking, and also of course he lacks eye contact when spoken to. He has a very monotonous speech and very black and white thinking, and he has a tendency to laugh wildly in most inappropriate situations, and he has very poor social skills, and also he's very hyper-focused in his mechanics and shows very strong obsessions with trams. So you notice in his own home, like, he's into model trams. And also, something else that I'd like to add as an irrelevant statement about Malcolm is that he shows in the course of this film that he is an asexual and he lacks interest in sexual activities. So anyway, that's all you need to know with Malcolm. So I'm just gonna get off from this couch. I'm gonna go over here and I want to discuss my third Autistics in fiction for this film, or for this video upload, from Aspie with Attitude. And now, for this video upload, I'm going to be talking about my last Autistic in fiction for the third one, which happens to be Christian Wolff, that happens to be played by Ben Affleck in the film called The Accountant. Ben Affleck plays a star leading role as an autistic adult, and Christian Wolff is mathematically gifted. Just to start things off, well, Christian is more than being savant, and he is also a deadly assassin. So let's concentrate on the autism aspect of Ben Affleck's role as Christian Wolff in the 2016 film called The Accountant. The movie features flashbacks of Christian's childhood before becoming an autistic assassin. As a child, he repeatedly rocked as an act of stimming and also being part of his repeated behaviour. And he used to always ritualistically saying nursery rhymes, and in the start of the movie, when they're going through flashbacks of Christian Wolff being a child, it just shows that he has a meltdown over a missing puzzle piece that shows later in life he always has an obsession to finish what he had started. So like, as Christian grew up, he had a challenging upbringing, having to face his bullies, since that he used to be constantly bullied. And to concentrate on Christian Wolff being an autistic adult, he follows the strict routines and faces sensory challenges towards light and sound, and also he's very mathematically gifted. Christian is a socially awkward individual, and also he has violent tendencies. So in the course of this movie Accountant, Christian kills other people with the use of heavy firearms. And after seeing this movie only once, not only did I found Christian Wolff being on the autism spectrum, I also viewed him as a psychopath. Well, I could just finally sit down after how dry my throat became after just talking about Ben Affleck in the movie The Accountant. So like before I actually finish off this video, something that's going to mean a lot to me is for you to leave the comments down below. So I want to know from you viewers and subscribers and anyone who's watching this video is like, I want to know if there's any autistic actors taking on autistic lead roles, which is going to mean a lot to me. So like, don't you ever dare make me talk about music, which is actually played by Maddie Ziegler from CS Movie Music. So like, I just hope it doesn't come down to that. So like, yeah, Malcolm is just such an awesome movie, a great Australian movie featuring autistic. And I'm not sure if Colin Friels is supposed to be autistic or neurotypical. So like, I'm just had enough of talking. So like, don't forget to leave a comment down below there. The same way, I'm going to put this fidget spinner on my nose to finish this one off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to Aspie with Attitude. Peace and respect, and see you next time.